Alright, Lancers, so today we're going to react to your 10th anniversary theories. 2 days ago, I asked you, what do you think the upcoming 10th anniversary characters will be? Keep it simple or let them be as wild as they can, anything goes. Because by far the best thing about an upcoming anniversary, especially right now when we just got the trailer, is all the theories that get thrown around in the community. It's always a fun time having these discussions. And even if in some cases to many it might seem super obvious, it's still fun regardless talking about potential other possibilities. And I will say right from the get-go, with stuff like this, I feel like sometimes it can get a bit too hostile. So let's just keep it chill, have some fun, celebrate the 10th anniversary together. And in this case, we're going to react to you lads' theories. Now, with that in mind, we do have over 300 comments, so obviously I won't be able to react to every single thing, but we'll see how long we do go for. This video might be longer in nature, but maybe not too long because, you know, reacting to every single comment here is probably going to take us a couple hours. And for some reason, our top comment out of this entire thing is Tony. Tony is down bad. Triple Yoruichi oiled up on a hot summer day. Brother is starving. Next up though, Bloodstar is saying Ichigo is a guaranteed, as well as it being original, but that's also pretty obvious. I like the idea that Ruki and Orihime could also be other characters, though for me the excitement is less in the characters themselves, but their design. I honestly don't care who it's going to be as long as they look cool, and I'm so excited to see if 1000 Year Blood War is going to influence the designs for the original character this year, since it has been after all 3 years since our last original design units. And yeah, I'm definitely hoping that's the case too. Again, one of the better parts that original anniversaries do have going for them is that even if you aren't excited for a particular character, the design itself could definitely sell you on that. You know, just to give some examples, Anniversary Byakuya and also Uryu, admittedly, I wasn't the most excited for, but when we finally got the reveal, I was super down for it, and I was excited and loved those characters. So yeah, in a way, regardless of who it's going to be, I'm sure I'm going to be excited anyway. But at the same time, I do agree as well that in some ways, I also do hope that 1000 Year Blood War will influence the original designs this year. To be fair, they have done that in the past. I mean, Retsu's Safui version was literally hinting at Yachiru Unohana. Kenpachi's is quite literally Yachiru's Shikai, which I also thought was really cool. But in terms of Ichigo's original forms, we haven't seen much from, you know, the 1000 Year Blood War aspect of the character. Like an original form Ichigo, but also dual-wielding like a different form of true Shikai would be really sick to see. Or something from Horde of Salvation would also be amazing to see from that character. And in the case of Rukia, I feel like they have no choice but to reference her Bankai form, at least after she does use the Bankai in that Ice Queen form, as I like to call it. I mean, I've said it in the past too, right? Rukia's Bankai form, in a way, is very similar to what we've seen with Beyond Bankai characters. So I'm sure if Rukia was to get an original form, it definitely will delve into that aspect of the character. And then with Orihime, I mean, not like she did too much in Blood War, but there's a lot you can do with Orihime's power set. And an original Orihime is something that I never considered, but would be kind of crazy in my opinion. Malik is saying it has to be Ichigo and Rukia at this point. For a milestone as big as the 10th anniversary, I feel original designs for these characters are really the only step you can take. I agree. Lazy is saying it, community, finally, an original design Rukia. Plot twist, here's your 10th anniversary at Toshiro. Now listen lads, I am here to listen to everyone's prediction and theories. But if anyone is unironically saying Toshiro, I do not want to hear it, it is not happening. He just got a character last month. He's gotten 2 characters this year, and he's already got an original form. And assuming one of the characters is going to be Ichigo and Toshiro as an anniversary is super random. There's just no way it's going to happen. After that, we have Raya. Now, Raya's been going absolutely crazy with their theories, and we have 3 videos to react to today. So let's go ahead and peep it. So first one is regarding Orihime being an anniversary character, which again, I've seen that name thrown around quite a bit. So we have the Shiten Koshin's sound effects. That's something I never considered. I never like tried to realize the sound effects in this theme song or this trailer. I was more so focused on the actual song itself, but the sound effects do sound similar enough to be fair. But then again, it will be the first time this year that we do have, you know, any type of hint regarding just the sound effects itself, right? So we have 3 locos here, potentially Ichigo, potentially Orihime, and then potentially Rukia, potentially going with the 3 character anniversary theme here. Similar enough scene, okay. I see the vision. I see the vision. And a reoccurring theme is divine, heavenly visuals. Definitely does give that vibe.
Oversteps the limitations set by gods.
And she has a godly power, okay. And the very last frame, it shows an orange glow, reminiscent of Orihime's powers. Definitely a far out there theory, but I'm here for it. I'm here for it. That's the first of 3 videos that we're going to watch, by the way. So next up, we have some stars in the sky, potentially implying a wish has been granted. Okay. Ruka's assistant, I see it. Orihime's potential shielding powers here. So again, I want to focus on that one more so. I've seen the theory thrown around a lot because there are particular 3 images that flash on our screen, right? Is that hinting at 3 characters? I am super down for it. I don't think that's going to happen. And that's mostly because I don't want to expect 3 characters, go in with the mindset for 3 characters, and only get what we normally get, that being 2 characters. I do agree with the mindset that it is a 10th anniversary. It's a big deal. If there was a time to do 3 anniversary units, it's now. And doing the 3 main characters for the most part, 2 of them that's never had an original form, you know, I'm super down for. So we have Orihime in one, Rukia in the other, and then Ichigo in the other one too. 3 characters, 3 screens, 3 backgrounds. Does it mean 3 characters? I'm down for it. I mean, if that is the case, if that's what they actually mean, that'll be super exciting and definitely a way to get more excitement and eyes at this year's anniversary part 1. And you know, there's many a times we've had 6 characters in 1 month, so it's possible. With that said though, the theme of the glowing star in combination with all 3 of their origin stories makes me believe that they'll be part of a wish banner. It definitely does give us some wish vibes. Okay, so we have Orihime's wish, her desire to help, okay? Ichigo's drive to protect. Okay, you're kind of cooking now. And then Rukia's decision to aid. I see the vision. I see the vision. Divina Rukia and protector Ichigo. I'm here for it. That'll be kind of hard though, I'm not gonna lie. That'll be really cool. And then for our final video from Raya, we have analyzing the 10th anniversary lyrics. So this was from my friend. I got them to translate the song. They said it was quite hard to translate with the way Koshuni's vocalist does sing and pronounce the words. But for those that do want to know what the lyrics are in English, the closest translation that we have for the time being, it is inevitable that the world's boundaries will open. Open your eyes immediately. Even if it's a double-edged sword, it will accelerate blue. It's beating. So if you are curious, that's what the lyrics are saying. And again, it's such a good song. It's such a good song. So I haven't been able to really think about anything from these lyrics, so I'm curious to see what we are going to see here. So it's inevitable that the world's boundaries will open up. World's boundaries, heaven or earth. Could it mean that the other world will open up? World's boundaries could mean life or death. Could it mean that the limit of life and death could be expanded on? And maybe more in the second one. Open your eyes could mean a new awakening of some sort of new power. Double-edged sword, a great power at a great cost. Accelerate blue, the eyes we see in the trailer. And blue is also associated with calmness, serenity, peace, and also heavens. Its breathing could also be the breathing of the heart. Both Rukia and Orihime stories revolve around the heart. I'm seeing the connections here. So obviously with Rukia, you have the whole where is the heart storyline with Kaien. And then likewise with Orihime, you had the whole heart in my hand with Okiura. Okay. What's also interesting is that there's a volume tied to the heart, which rolls around a battle between Oka and Ichigo. Raya is doing absolute research with these ones. I'm putting the effort for a video too, so we appreciate it. And if we look close at the lyrics, we have Orihime rejecting the limitations of life and death, opening up their boundaries. Ichigo being resurrected, opening his eyes. Okay. And then the powers being a double-edged sword because, bro attacked Oryu. Returns to normal. She is his blue? Hold on now. We have a poet in here. Let's take a closer look at the last few frames. Calling out the darkness, potentially Orihime reaching out to Ichigo. Let me get the short frame. Again, this is the orange flash. It's kind of really hard to make out what this is. Some might say to get to Jujutsu, that was my original theory. I actually don't think it's anything. In actuality, I feel like it's just a way to end the trailer without cutting to black, if that kind of makes sense. But the first frame tells me that it has to be something that's being fired off. I believe that it's Shunshin and Rika being fired off simultaneously. I'm still thinking and hoping for a 3-character banner, but I had to share my theory. Let me know what you think. I think you got some pretty good points. Definitely some connections have been made here. And after seeing these, I'm definitely open for a 3-character banner. Because again, when I did my theory video yesterday, right, I didn't really have anything against Orihime. It was more so I just couldn't come up with a reason for Orihime Orihime, if that makes sense. With Ichigo, we know he's guaranteed. Rukia, there's ice, so I'm instantly going to attach it with her. And then with Orihime, for me, I just excluded her because I didn't initially think free character banner. But again, shout out to Raya for these. It's always cool seeing different theories, especially when they put the time in to make a video, so shout out to Raya. Next up, that we have bounce characters or swimsuit Yama. You men are thirsty. You man are thirsty. The background kind of reminds me of Ichigo vs Uryu or Yuha vs Ichibei, all the clouds and stuff. What people are calling ice seems like mirrors. I think when the logo breaks, it definitely does resemble some mirrors or crystals or diamonds, etc. I've seen a lot of names for it, but I feel like during the initial build-up to the cracking, it definitely looks like ice. And I can see the thought process behind it being Ichigo vs Uryu or Yuha vs Ichibei, since they are in the clouds, they are above the sky. I've seen a lot of people say it could be the Soul Palace. To me, it's definitely not. It's definitely an original background. Because again, just based off of last trailers, right? 8th and 9th anniversary was clearly showing us a 1,000-year Blood War fight. In this case, not so much. It would have been more clear on the idea that it could have been, 1,000-year Blood War, therefore the Soul Palace. Zelun is said, I think it's highly possible that this year will be... Okay, let's just... Brother, I am not reading the rest of that comment. Listen, again, I'm open for theories, but I'm not listening to Shonen Power, bro. Brian is saying, honestly, it kind of has to be Ichigo and Rukia. It's that big of a milestone. I did see someone on Reddit such as Orihime. I believe that was Raya's video. They are also seemingly down for that. Seeing how the community wants Rukia, I just want to see the community would react if it isn't Rukia. Bro is a villain. Bro is a villain. I'm curious to see if we are going to see any comments regarding Rukia. I'm surprised about the amount of people that don't want an anniversary Rukia. I'll be honest. I mean, I've seen it over the last couple of so years. Again, 7th and 9th anniversary was the 2 big years we thought we could get an anniversary Rukia and didn't. And for a main character, the second main character of Bleach, I'm surprised Rukia has that many haters. It's got to be Ichigo and Rukia. Saw someone on Reddit theorized we could get 3 characters. Raya's videos are making rounds here. Rukia, Orihime, Ichigo, which I would also be open to as well. My prediction is something similar to Beyond Bankai Jushiro, where he had Shunsui's shadow powers, but this time it'll be Ichigo and Rukia switching their powers. Ichigo wielding Soden Shurayuki and Rukia wielding Zangetsu. I don't think that will happen, to be honest, but that would be really cool. Although I don't know how I would feel about Ichigo in a dress. I mean, he probably wouldn't be in a dress, but Ichigo, it'd be so weird looking, Ichigo with ice powers, and then Rukia, I mean, to be fair, Rukia does wield a blade normally. But imagine Rukia dual wielding Zangetsu. I'm open for it. I don't think that would happen. I don't think anything in the trailer gives off that vibe. And I feel like this is more so a theory that people have had for a long time, to be fair. But if Caleb did want to go down that route, again, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Anything original at this point, I would take, especially if it is Ichigo and Rukia. Speaking of Ichigo and Rukia, Paladin is saying, Rukia and Ichigo being the 2 10th year anniversary character would be fire, in my opinion. The 2 characters that started it all. Swimsuit, man are talking about swimsuits. Listen, swimsuit talk starts tomorrow. We get the upcoming end of month banner announcement. Right now, though, of course, we're looking at the anniversary. So, Terabyte is saying, I'd love for this anniversary to be the first to feature 3 characters based on the background shown after the logo, and hopefully Ichigo, Rukia, and Orihime. Ichigo is a given since he's the main character, and Rukia because of the frost covering the logo. Orihime because of the overall soft feel of the teaser and the golden lights at the end. I gotta say though, I will give you lads a round of applause if you actually do predict the 3rd character being Orihime. Again, part of me doesn't fully believe it, only because we've never had a 3 character anniversary banner before, but it'd be really cool again if we could get that. Literally Ichigo and Rukia low, even though it's sad to say it isn't Yuha. Legit, it could have been instantly better in my opinion, but Rukia deserves it and Caleb knows it too. The community has been waiting a long time for Rukia. I feel like personally, in regards to an anniversary Yuha, if they were to do it, it should have been last year. Again, the whole 9 theme. But I feel like anniversary Yuha works better next year. Then again, it would have worked this year too. I would have been fine for it. But next year, if we do get a canon anniversary, and it's the final fight, like Aizen, Ichigo, Yuha as a banner for part 1 would be absolutely insane. So like next year, if we do get a canon anniversary, you won't hear me complaining, especially if it is a final fight thing. Because again, I'm open for anniversaries being canon. It just really has to be a good banner. The right character choices, And Ichigo for sure, probably both Rukia as well. Original designs would be amazing. Harlem is saying, I agree with you about Rukia being the 10th anniversary character. I think it has to be original characters just because what else will they do for her? At first, I wasn't sure about the trailer. I thought the 10 shattering was like a glass or a mirror. So I was wondering, who uses mirror base effects? But as soon as you said Rukia, I was like, damn, that's ice, and that made so much more sense to me. So it definitely does look like some type of mirror, diamonds or crystals, when it does crack, but again, the lead up is definitely looking like ice. My boy is Sang Du and of course Bankai Rose. There's no way, blood. Assassin is saying that characters Ichigo and Rukia, theme Clash of the Heavens. I am down for that. I am down if that is going to be the name for the title. And Ichigo will be fused with the Hogyoku, and Rukia will be a Beyond Bankai. This that is saying Ichigo, Rukia, Orihime 100%. Just makes so much sense, and I think everyone will agree with this. We're celebrating an anniversary that wraps up a decade of Brave Souls. You have to capitalize it with 3 mains. Simple as that. Rukia, if it is her, is going to look so majestic. I hope so, right? I would hope so. Beyond the Clouds collab, I'm not coached enough to know what that is. I honestly completely believe that it's not just Epilogue Ichigo and Rukia, but original designs too. So I think they mean adult Ichigo and Rukia. If they were to do that, like in a way it's a remake of 10 years later Ichigo and Rukia but original forms, that would also be really cool in my opinion. My biggest dream is that they finally do Ichigo with everything at once, which they strangely avoided until now, and maybe make a Beyond Bankai Rukia and then a third character, which in this case throwing Yuha onto that bet. I think the safe prediction is a game original Ichigo and also Rukia. The slashes are the same color as Ichigo's and the logo freezing really feels like a hint to Rukia. However, I find it odd that the end teases 3 different backgrounds, possibly a 3-character banner. If so, I could totally see us getting an anniversary Orihime as well, since those have 3 important connections to one another. Seen a lot of people believe in this 3-character theory. It's definitely getting me more on board. Bankai Yamamoto, Adult Toshiro, probably not, but eventually sure in the future, right? Swimsuit Aaroniero. Why is everyone obsessed with swimsuit characters right now? Clyde is saying, honestly, Rukia absolutely deserves to be part of the anniversary banner. She's a hugely popular and iconic character, and her inclusion would definitely build up a lot of hype. If Caleb goes with original designs, they could really do something amazing with her. While I'm not the biggest Rukia fan myself, powering her with Ichigo or another hype unit would definitely make the banner worth summoning for me. I'll admit though, I'm still a bit disappointed we're not getting a Beyond Almighty Yuhabok, but even so, I'm definitely going to do 25 steps, no hesitation. That again could always happen in the future, right? Could always happen in the future. Kenji is saying, my prediction is an original design adult Ichigo and Orihime would be a very heartwarming to see that. Might be Rukia. Alternate Tail, Captain Ichigo, and Beyond Bankai Rukia are my predictions. A Captain Ichigo would be sick. Captain Ichigo would be sick. While I think it's going to be a 3-character banner, Ichigo, Orihime, Rukia, a lot of these going around today, I will throw out another idea that maybe Renji will be there. The whole star and the stray monkey looking at the reflection of a moon theme that Renji has kind of fits his. Though I believe Renji is getting a call for a unit soon, that's why I wouldn't put money on it. That's also why, again, when I crossed off Renji for this year's anniversary character, he's just gonna get a character soon. And maybe more reasons why it could be an anniversary Rukia and Ichigo. Rukia isn't getting a core 3 character at all. And Ichigo doesn't need a core 3 character, at least not straight away. We've already gotten a True Shikai, and it would just be the exact same character with some different visuals for the most part. So having an original Ichigo and Rukia now is probably the best thing they can do, because those 2 characters shouldn't be getting any good canon characters anytime soon. It has to be Ichigo, Orihime, Rukia because of the 3 OG characters in Bleach. Sonoxi is saying Rukia and Ichigo. Unlike some people, I don't think the 3 jumps at the end of the teaser means 3 characters, but 2 characters and 1 wallpaper. That could be the case too. That definitely could be the case too. Again, we'll find out next month, less than a month's time actually at this point. Monkey said, I don't care what characters are going to be, although I'm hype about it, but I just really want the OST. That was beautiful, but if I really had to guess, I'm guessing Rukia and Ichigo. Maybe a possible Orihime after seeing a lot of theories about her. And yeah, the OST, I can't wait for it, man. It's going to be absolutely crazy. 5th anniversary had an absolute banger because it was the only anniversary to have an actual theme song and not just like a game soundtrack. And again, I'm a massive fan of Koshuni, so I also can't wait. I've been listening to the soundtrack, the 30-second snippet that we have the last couple of so days since the trailer has been revealed. So we have Ichigo and Rukia. Again, another prediction for those 2. Another Ichigo and Rukia. Another Ichigo and Rukia again. Right now, it just seems to be the most popular prediction. So what I want to do now, before we go back and look at some of these other predictions, let's just scroll down right to the bottom, just to maybe see some different theories other than, what we all expect Ichigo and Rukia, and maybe some unconventional hot takes. So I guess it's Rukia and Ichigo, but I hope it's not Rukia. I don't see it as a 10th anniversary character worthy. Hope it's Yuha or the Soul King. Well, it's not going to be the Soul King because, he's not in the list of names. So at least as of right now, we don't know his name, although there is assumptions of what that could be. I don't get how you don't think Rukia is a 10-year anniversary worthy character. She's the literal second main character of the series. I do agree though that, it could have been Ichigo and Yuha if they wanted to go down that route. But Rudo says Rukia and Uryu. I don't think it would be an Uryu, at least not another original design. Uryu, Quincy, Volstein Ditch, that's definitely going to be part 2 onwards, when we start to get canon core 3 characters, not part 1, because again, this trade doesn't really hint to that. If it's not Soifon, I'm quitting. I don't think it's going to be Soifon, so maybe go ahead and quit. Nah, don't quit. You'll probably be sold on the characters when you see them. I hope it's not Rukia. Couple more Ichigo Rukias. Adult Original Hitsugaya Zombie Hollow. That's definitely not happening. Deji is saying most likely a remake of 5th Anniversary Ichigo and an original form Rukia. That's not going to happen. They're not going to ever do a remake for part 1. I mean, again, technically they did with Art Book Ichigo, but right now it's the only one that can get away with it because Aizen single-handedly carried part 1 of the anniversary by himself. And I feel like at that time, Aizen is the only character that can carry a solo anniversary. And even then, with the Art Book Ichigo technically taken away from a part 1 anniversary character during the 6th anniversary, he was also paired with an art book release. A physical thing you could buy, and he was in his own banner. I don't see us getting a 5th Anniversary Ichigo remake. If we are to get an original Ichigo, which seems to be the case, it's going to be a whole new design. And what they're likely going to do is have 5th Anniversary Ichigo renewed version next year for the 11th Anniversary, the pre-anniversary. Zoro is saying Ruki and Ichigo, Esno and Yuha. An Esno Yuha banner anniversary, it'd be weird. If the original forms, I'm down for it. I like Esno, and I feel like he needs a good character. A better one. Even though he's got some good ones. I feel like a Yugrim Yuha anniversary banner would make more sense than Yuha and Esnot, but, you know, I wouldn't say no to a new Esnot. We have this lad saying, how can Otogame Ichigo and Tensizan Getsu Rukia? Another theory of them switching powers, right? I know the whole idea of switching things is a big popular concept. I've seen a lot of people want Arankas in captain outfits and, you know, Soul Reapers in Espada designs. We've yet to see it. I don't think it will happen. I'm not opposed to it. We have another theory of adult forms being for this anniversary. I wanted to be Ichigo and Rukia, but make Rukia a ranger with the 80% Mac SA1, her SA2 a heal and boost, and her SA3 an AoE around but the worst version. No God break points, bro. What are you doing? Not like this. We have JJB saying part 1 Ichigo Rukia, some kind of heavenly forms, and then part 2 Bankai Yama, Bankai Shinsui, and Mimihagi Jushiro. That would be an interesting part 2, and very similar to what we saw during the 6th anniversary part 2, where it was those 3 characters. I actually, you know, while we're not really here to speak about part 2, this sounds kind of cool. I'd be down for that. I've been saying, you know, a Bankai Shinsui and Bankai Yama banner would be crazy, because those 2 could be the 2 SP units. And as of right now, I'm way more excited for a Bankai Yama anime version than I am for a lot of Core 3 stuff. Maybe that's just me, and then I guess you can probably just make Jushiro by default the Brave Battle character. I mean, last time this happened, Yama was the Brave Battle character, and we're definitely not making Shinsui a Brave Battle unit. I really think we should get Orihime because we didn't have a good character for Orihime, and we already have a Bankai Yama. So you really hope it's a 1000-year Blood War Orihime. I mean, I guess we could get a Blood War canon Orihime in the future. She finally did something briefly in Core 3 that they can make into a character. Even though I'm waiting for Bankai Rose, I'm going to guess Ruki or Byakuya. Listen, Bankai Rose fans don't mention Rose Challenge Impossible. It's like they always, even when it's irrelevant, they always bring it up. And Lazy Introvert is saying, I know it's going to be Ichigo and Rukia because Bleach started with them, so it makes sense for them to be the 10-year characters. But I believe there are some characters which have more hype than Rukia, so I'm not a bit happy with it being Rukia. But there isn't. I don't think there is. I mean, obviously everyone has different opinions. I really don't think any character is more, for an original design unit right now for an anniversary, I don't think there's a single more hype character than Rukia. Maybe Yuha Bak, but again, this trailer doesn't give off those vibes, you know? Ichigo Uryu Yuha? Ken anniversary? Probably not, we just got him last year. We have a hot take. I really hope it's Rukia. Well, thus far, it's not really a hot take, but we'll let you cook. All the Rukia haters out there not understanding that without her, Ichigo would never have become a Soul Reaper. I know most want a Rukia and Ichigo. It's been 10 years, Caleb. She deserves some attention. And I hope Rukia's design has something to do with the Hogyoku or make them have magic from something like Burn the Witch. Why not? She did have the Hogyoku in it at one point in time. That's the first time we heard about that, connecting Rukia to a Hogyoku type form. And I also really want to see the Rukia haters lose. Listen, a comment like this is going to fuel those Rukia haters. And in a potential timeline where we don't get an anniversary Rukia, they're going to come back to this and use this as a reason to laugh at us. But I see where you're coming from. Bankai Yama and Bankai Rukia as an anniversary part 1. I mean, I didn't really see any fire besides the potential logo having some type of fire, I guess. Loki, why does the white part look like Ichigo's sword when he transforms into Honor Salvation? Maybe we skipped over some theories regarding this, because again, I have read some of these comments already, right? I've seen this thrown around a lot. The white transforming logo, I think it's ice, but in some cases it maybe looks white. I've seen some people compare that to how Ichigo activates the, Horn of Salvation or the white blade in that form. And maybe this could be a hint at a Horn of Salvation original form. Potential. There are 3 possibilities. If the banner has a single character, then it must be Ichigo. Definitely not going to be one character, but if there's a 2-character banner, it'll be Ichigo with Rukia or Yhwach. And if it's a 3-character banner, Ichigo, Orihime, Rukia. Guys, it's going to be a Resurrection Aaroniero. Trust me, I'm not crazy. Listen, we were saying Aaroniero for the 9th anniversary. 9th for Spada, made sense. Unfortunately, didn't happen. We got Grummy instead. This lad is saying something similar to what we have seen in the past. Not many comments, but similar enough, saying, this trailer, the vibes is giving me peaceful and hope vibes. Horn of Salvation, if I may. Or it might not, since it might be an original design. Heck, we might get a Hogyoku Ichigo or Almighty Ichigo. That was also some theories before we even saw the trailer, that they could do an Almighty Ichigo and Yuha original form. Or it might be a reference to Death and Strawberry, which obviously is Rukia and Ichigo with their powers swapped. So another, theory of the characters being swapped. Most of their power set. This is the year Rukia bros. Ichigo and Rukia. And if a third character, it might be Shinji. Probably not, but, we'll see. Hear me out. At the end where the ice shows up, it kind of looks like fire. And the closer we've seen it to fire and ice is Rose's. Bro, get out of here with the Bankai Rose. Like, bro, they never missed an opportunity to bring up their character. They had me in the first half, bro. I was excited to read it. This guy is saying, I thought you'd been cancelled. It's nice to hear you. When did I get cancelled? What have I done that was controversial for me to be cancelled? Ichigo is all but confirmed at this point. As for the second character, it's between Yuha and Rukia. I want Yuha more, but I think Rukia makes more sense considering the teaser. And maybe I'm latching onto something that no one's really spoke about just yet. I might be coping here. But in the description of the trailer, it does say part 1. So, are we going to get a second trailer before the big reveal? I'm not too sure. It's the first time they referred to this as a part 1 trailer. So we could get a second trailer in the coming weeks before the big reveal. But at the same time, the big reveal on the Bankai live stream, revealing the characters, could also just be considered part 2 of the trailer. So keep that in mind. But it's something I thought I just mentioned. We have another lad saying original design 10 years later, Ichigo and Rukia. Sora is saying Hachi me. Jacob is saying, I know no one cares about Renji, but I hope it's him and Rukia. Since Rukia and Renji have a deeper connection. And better yet, Renji just got a ton of love in Thousand Jibadro. Again, I feel like their thing going for Renji not being part 1 in particular is because he's going to get probably a good canon character with his fight against Uri. Like, that's going to be one of the bigger fights, one of the bigger banners from Core 3, which to me can only be released similar to Bankai Shunsui in part 2 of the anniversary, or an end of year, or an anime season 4 release. Like Celebration, similar to how they released Rukia, Byakuya, and Renji during season 3's release. This guy is saying, me and my brother have been playing this game since the 3rd anniversary. In fact, my birthday is also on July 23rd. That's a crazy day for a Brave Souls fan to have a birthday on, I'm not gonna lie. Now, lucky for you, because I'm sure, hopefully it didn't, but having your birthday on the same day as an anniversary and then getting shafted would be absolutely soul-crushing. Fortunately, now we have a pity system, so hopefully you don't get too shafted during the anniversary. Last year, though, I was sad they changed the date for the 9th anniversary. Yeah, that kind of sucks. I kind of hope they don't do that again. It was kind of just weird. Right now, given the trailer obviously releasing on the 23rd, it seems like we are going to have the anniversary on the 23rd again, like normal. My prediction, though, is that it's going to be Ichigo and Rukia, and my brother gave the prediction that after the anniversary logo changed, it showed 3 backgrounds, one after another, maybe implying a 3rd character. Potentially. We have another person say Hogyoku Transcended Ichigo, and a Bankai-inspired Rukia. Hogyoku Rukia as well, Demon Ichigo, Angel Rukia, throwback to 2 games title, when 5th anniversary Ichigo and Byakuya were announced. That'd be kind of funny if they do that. I'm not getting any demon vibes, so probably not, but definitely getting angel vibes. Zaiton's got a lengthy comment here, so let's read it. The theme is very reminiscent of the sky, specifically the sun, the moon, and the stars, and also the heaven. We start to see a slash, which is very reminiscent of Ichigo's true Shikai. Then the slash hits the logo, and it slowly starts to freeze, which is what Rukia's true Zanpakuto ability, which of course is to slowly freeze itself. The logo then becomes completely white, which is also reminiscent of Rukia's Bankai, and mostly because Rukia's Zanpakuto is pure white, signifying the most beautiful Zanpakuto for its purity. And as we see it, the left side of the Getuga like slash shows 2 colors. The right shows blue, which also could look like it's frozen, and the left side shows a very red-orange hue. Either way, Ichigo and Rukia is in the very first art book, which has been signified the Black Sun and White Moon. That was actually my theory going into the 7th anniversary. But there's definitely something you can do with that if they are going to do an original Ichigo and Rukia, right? As for the forms, though, it could look very reminiscent to Irizando from the anime, and the crystal-like is very much like the Hogyoku and potentially a Soul King encasement. A Soul King Ichigo I'm definitely down for. The Hogyoku could also signify greater power or height, like Beyond Bankai. And funny enough, someone also said this, the Hogyoku was hidden in Rukia's Gigai, so Aizen could track him down at the start. Perhaps she fuses with it this time. And if that's their reasoning for an original form Rukia, I'm down for it, because not like it matters, to be fair, because every Beyond Bankai was different, but it would be cool to get something from Rukia that isn't considered a Beyond Bankai. We're probably going to call it that, depending, unless it has like a very clear idea on what it is. But a Hogyoku infused Rukia, it sounds kind of cool. But with that said, I think that covers most of the comments and theories for today's video. Again, there are over 300 comments. I can't react to every single one of them, but majority do agree. At least right now, the popular opinion is an original design anniversary Ichigo and also Rukia. The question now, though, is what designs are they going to have? Some want power swaps, Rukia having Mugetsu or Zangetsu powers, and Ichigo wielding Sodana Shoryuki. Some are expecting maybe Hogyoku fused forms for both Rukia and also Ichigo. Some are expecting godly light powers from these characters. Transcended forms similar to maybe the Soul King's design, I guess. And surprisingly today, a popular theory is that this anniversary could feature 3 units, which is something that I originally didn't consider, and that third character very well could be Orihime. Either way, though, for the time being, that is going to be us done talking about the 10th anniversary until we get more news regarding the upcoming anniversary. Likely, that will be the announcement day of the anniversary Bankai Live. But tomorrow, next video, we are going to be going into the swimsuit and demand banner. So that's something to also look forward to and keep us occupied until the big reveal during the 10th anniversary Bankai Live. So hope to see you lads there. Again, shout out to everyone that did leave a comment in today's video. And I'll see you lads next time. Take care and peace.